Hi, welcome to Just Hair Me Out, a podcast about hair, salon culture, and all the life wisdom gleaned from hundreds of amazing clients by two professional hairstylists. My name is Barbara Bodley. I'm a master hair colorist.
Hi, I'm Demetra Georgakopoulos, and I'm a master haircutting stylist.
Thanks for joining us. Pull up a chair and just hair us out. Let your hair down.
Yes, do it, ladies. Yes, definitely.
So, Demetra, I remembered a couple things that I meant to say in regards to last time's episode. Real quickly, when I was an assistant, I thought that when they said my shift was like 8 to 4 or 8 to 5 or whatever, that you show up at like 7:50 and then you can leave at 5.
Mm-hmm.
No. Was that your experience?
I had the same experience, yes.
Yes, and I did leave at 5 because I thought, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
And,
or you try. Wait, hold on. Let's say you tried to leave at 5, right?
Oh, no, I did. And then the next day realized that everyone hated me. They were like, what the hell did you think you were doing by leaving at 5 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
it's really a TBD thing. Like, you're done when you're not needed anymore for the evening.
Oh yeah, it was brutal being an apprentice, and I mean it really was. At least for our day, like you said, working 8 to 5, there was no such thing as a 15-minute break. There was no such thing as a lunch break. And I actually remember coming also from the corporate world. I actually did accounting. That's what I was going to school for.
I didn't know that.
Yes. I told you I was a math science student. I loved numbers and things like that. So being in that, corporate setting, you're 9 to 5 and you had your lunch and, whatever it may be. I still had that mindset. So that when they said, hey, you worked 9 to 5, I remember the very first time trying to leave at 5 o'clock, literally like, where are you going? And I'm like, home, and it's like, yeah, no, you're not done because I'm not done yet. You have to stay till I'm done, because not only did you have to do the shampoo, let's say for their last client, you had to sweep up when they were done with the haircut. Because remember, I was a haircutting assistant. So I had to wait and I had to make sure when they were done. So if that stylist wasn't done till 6:30, even though I was scheduled to 5, I had to stay till 6:30.
Yeah. That was a very big thing. Like you wait till the haircut's done, the last haircut of the day, and you have to sweep that hair up.
Right. Yeah. And clean. You fold the towels, make sure the laundry's done. Everything is spotless. It wasn't all shits and giggles where it was just like, hey, I'm learning how to cut hair. I mean, you were the cleaner, the watcher, the learner, you weren't allowed to leave. You weren't allowed to take lunch. You didn't go for lunch at 12 o'clock. If you had a 5-minute break to stand and eat some potato chips and just live on coffee, that's what you did.
I had a severe caffeine addiction because that's what keeps you going.
Yeah. I did too.
And it's free at the salon.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Like the coffee maker in the back.
Yeah. Well, we had actually a really nice cappuccino. Actually, you're right. We made coffee in the beginning. You're right. I forgot about the coffee before we got our cappuccino machine. That was a fancy one. But we weren't allowed to have that. That was actually for clients. So I guess it started to get really expensive and we were getting in trouble and we had to bring in like our own tea and coffee. And that's kind of, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's interesting that you were in accounting. I was a paralegal for a corporate lawyer. So I really thought I knew a lot about work and life and laws and that I could have a lunch break.
Yeah. Okay. Lunch.
Yeah. That's not really a thing. But people are changing that. I think people are trying to carve out time and treat themselves better.
But I guess now looking back, it kind of makes sense why everybody was either addicted to coffee or hairstylists are known for doing a lot of cocaine. I mean, I didn't. At that time,
you just did a little bit.
No, actually, I didn't at that time. I was already done with my partying. Believe it or not, I started really young. But so by the time I was already doing hair, I was done with the partying stage. But yeah, it's kind of funny because also when I would meet people, they were like, "Oh, you're a hairstylist. You love to party." And I'm like, "What? What are these
And
people
everybody
talking
thinks
about?"
that when you're a hairdresser that you know you have a drug connection.
Yes.
Why is that?
Dude, I'm telling you, it was the cocaine. Like, I don't know. Like,
I knew a lot of hairdressers that did a lot of drugs, but their life didn't look really glamorous to me.
No. I know. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So,
and I wanted to tell you a quick story that my second day working, I washed someone's hair for a haircut. It wasn't even like, sometimes it can be trickier if you're like washing color out.
Oh, yeah.
I was washing a client for a haircut, and the woman said, like, it was like 7 seconds of me trying to suds her hair. And she said, "I can tell that you're new. Go get me someone else." I was so upset.
She was nice. Actually, that was nice.
Yeah, she didn't call me any names.
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I have some stories.
Oh, that's a whole episode.
Yeah. I'm not even going to get into it right now because I actually have like 2 really good stories. And I'm going to actually just end it here that my last boss was good to me. He stuck up for me. I'm going to say that, believe it or not. So and we're going to touch base on that though, because those were 2 really good stories.
Jot down a note.
Yes. I'm making notes, girlfriend, right now.
So we might have to tell an apprentice story or of some sort or at the beginning of each episode, to be honest.
Oh my God. I love that actually.
Just to share.
Yeah. Why not? You know, maybe like, so then our clients know it was hard, man.
Yes.
Like it isn't all the glamour that we make it out to be right now. I know you think we're fabulous and it started this way, but I mean, we were like the bottom of the bottom. Like,
yes, I do have some good stories. I keep acting like it's negative, but
right. No, there's some good stories. There were some good stories too. I've had plenty of times where, you know, I did like to say sometimes I wouldn't even get enough money to buy like their coffee and I would pull out of my own pocket. But there was plenty of times, especially as the other stylists got to know me, where they bought me my coffees, they bought me my lunch. I mean, there's good stuff too. Look, it's not all negative, right? Well, we'll get to all the good stuff though, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so today we are talking about a topic near and dear to our hearts.
Kind of looks like Barbara's microphone, but I'm sorry. Ooh, sorry. Go ahead.
we wanted to talk about how clients and all sorts of other people talk about this in the salon and not outside the salon. If you didn't know this already, your pubic hair goes white.
Yeah.
White.
Like, yeah. Pubic hair. Did you guys hear Barbara? It looks like her microphone. That's if you have hair left. I think the younger generation, they get it lasered off completely. But when you're our age, we like to keep some of the fuzz, right? Because you start to lose hair. It's a generational thing. It is. But, you know, and not only does the hair go white, it starts to thin out.
Yeah.
And it's not that horrible because then it's less white hairs to see. But I remember because I...
Oh, yes. What is your first story of noticing?
Oh, this is funny. Okay, so I used to always get, you know, wax. I actually had laser done, but I just did a bikini laser, like the outer parts and the...
yeah, like for a bathing suit.
Yeah, right. And the anus anus area. Okay, whatever. But I don't know. Whatever you look at. If you got laser, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, it was always pretty much gone most of the time, or I would like to leave like a little landing strip on top, so there was always a little something, right?
That's and then Gen X.
Yeah, you know, and then I was finally like, you know what, I'm like growing a little, trimmed down for the winter, got no action going, you know, let's just be a little organic, right?
Yeah.
This is probably 5 years ago. Hello 40. Yeah, and I literally looked down there and there was like 2 white hairs. And I was shocked. I mean, I almost felt like I got my period for the first time.
Oh.
You know, it was like that feeling. I was like,
slightly traumatic. You don't know whether to be happy or sad.
No. Yes, because no one has ever talked about that in my life. Yeah. Ever. No one's ever talked about it. And I'm like, why don't people talk about this? And I remember calling my girlfriend, who's also a hairstylist, and the first thing I said, and she's like 10 years older than me, and I'm like, oh my God, I have 2 white hairs down there. And she's like, okay, like it was normal. And I'm like, why? She's like, it's hair. Hello. All hair either goes gray or you start losing it. And I'm like, okay, I feel really stupid. But yeah, so then I had to ask my esthetician, like, what do I do? She's like, you take it off, you know. But I want to know Barbara's opinion, being a colorist.
Oh, I'm sure there's.
What if people don't want to
of,
take it off? Is there a way to color it?
Of course there is. I actually don't know the brands. I am not as familiar.
Right, because you're not. I mean, you're a colorist, and it's hair related, but you're not a colorist for that specialty. Right.
Well, and I would think that you would need something pretty gentle. There are companies that make hair dye for your eyebrows because it's like that's a controversial thing, like whether because obviously people get gray hair in their eyebrows.
Yeah,
and
I found like 1 or 2.
Yeah. Those of us who are 90s kids tend to just put hair dye right on them. Other people think for insurance purposes, if you're working in a salon, that you should use stuff that where if it did drip in your eye, you wouldn't go blind. But, you know, we like to live on the edge.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm sure there's an equivalent. I just don't happen to know what it is.
Yeah. Well, you know, so it's a real thing. So, I mean, you know, not getting too personal here, Barbara, but what's your method?
I don't really have a method yet. Do you know, I am such an anomaly. Okay, you know how people have bonuses in life? Like you can either eat like a cow on weed or, you know, what's another good example? That's what I would like to be able to do. Or you just like randomly have like really long eyelashes, something like that. I am a hair colorist. I have 3 gray hairs. And I'm 45. This is 2023. What? I'm 45. 3 gray hairs. This is the one thing that I could take care of any day of the week, twice on Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. But you know what? Like how you were saying how you can take care of it. Do you often get the question like, oh my God, your family and friends must love you or you know, because they have you at their fingertips, or the fact that like, oh, you and your other stylists, you guys probably get your hair done all the time.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No.
It's false. Like we are the last on the barrel to get anything done. Like if I were to move my hair right now, like you guys, like Barbara, don't be mad at me, but it's in there. Okay, maybe don't say. Okay, whatever. The light's covering it, but we're the last to take care of ourselves, whether it be hair, nails, anything. Your color, your right.
Yes, and okay. Well, back to the white hair down there.
Oh yeah.
So, in my early 20s, I was living in the Gold Coast area of Chicago, and I went to a gym, and lo and behold, in the locker room, unlike me with my Puritan roots, I don't know what you want to call it, I thought it was kind of weird that people didn't just like change right in front of their little locker area. Like some people just have like this, like, you know, they're almost like a peacock. Walking around, you know, like here I am naked. Anyway, this woman. Well, what I'm saying is like I would change fast. Like you drop your towel, you.
Oh, got it. Yeah, got it.
People
Totally. Sure.
Are like, oh, let's have a stretch. Like let's walk around. This woman, God bless her, she had the biggest pure white bush, way wider than this, and she was just wandering around.
Wow.
Could have been like sipping coffee. She was not ready to get dressed yet, apparently.
Wait, all white. That must have been beautiful, though. I mean, I'm just saying.
Kinda. I just felt like I shouldn't be looking at it. But, I mean, her hair was like beautiful because it was pure white. But, like, you know, the carpet matches the drapes.
It did. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's a big one.
So, if you want your carpet to match the drapes and you have colored hair and white down there, you need to have hardwood floors.
You do,
or diet.
Well, yeah, it's one or the other, right?
Diet or hardwood floors.
Yeah, I guess I need to make a decision.
Really don't like that.
No, I know. Believe it or not,
especially like earlier Gen Xers and Boomers feel like it's a little bit of a pedo thing, and so they don't like to. They think it looks like juvenile. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, it is. It is true. I've had, conversations with men, and some like it completely clean, and some don't because they feel it's a little creepy, completely
Yeah.
clean. You know.
Yeah.
So, and I can see that actually. I find that actually a little more attractive as I get older. The guys that kind of like the hair being down there, because then I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
he's not so much of a creep.
Yeah.
I know it
Yeah.
sounds weird to say, but I'm like, you know what? Yeah,
Well,
I kind
and
of
we
like
as
that.
women
Like,
have to do so much to ourselves. Like, can we just get a little break?
yeah, one less thing. And if he's okay with a little white or gray hair down there, like, hey,
It's all
just
good.
keep it trimmed up, a little
Mhm.
clean. That's all right. Yeah.
And here's food for thought. Why is it that
Hmm.
women spend their whole lives trying to get rid of hair besides what's on their head?
Right.
The pits, the legs, everything else.
Hmm.
Dogs. Oh, here's another thing, listeners.
Oh.
Demetra and I both happen to have dogs instead of children.
Dog lovers.
We love the dogs.
Hmm.
We love a good bitch.
Yes. Oh, my God.
And I want to know why dogs have hair everywhere except their armpits and their crotches.
Hmm.
That is something I would like to know.
Yeah. So, anyone out there, if you're like a specialist or you know the answer to that question, can you please let us know? And Barbara, where would they hit us up at if they would like to give us that answer?
Please.
Or chime in.
Email us.
Yes.
Email us at justhairmeoutpodcast@gmail.com.
Awesome.
You can
Thank
also
you.
direct message us on
Yeah.
Insta, Facebook, TikTok at Just Hear Me Out Podcast.
Yes. Yes. Love it. Love it. Yeah.
Briefly, I wanted to add
Mm-hmm.
there is no such thing as gray hair. And people do not talk about that ever.
Elaborate,
hair-
please. Elaborate.
Okay, friends, hair is either pigmented or not. And so the illusion of hair being gray is just hair that has pigment next to hair that does not. So I like to use the example of if you had a piece of white paper and you put like little red dots all over it and then you hold it back here, all of a sudden it looks like a pink piece of paper. That's what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that because, and also with that being said, when people look at their hair, like, oh my God, like this is gray, but this piece is white, or what ends up happening, basically, it's the percentage to, right? The ratio of what white or unpigmented hair, we would say, opposed to your natural color, right? You get 10% to 90%, 30%. And as you get more percentage of that unpigmented hair, it's going to look whiter opposed to gray, which is not really gray. And that's what Barbara's also trying to say as well, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
this is somewhat of an educational episode, right?
We here at Just Hear Me Out are very interested in your education.
Yes. Yes.
Also, I'm a big history nerd. Do you know that about me? Demetra?
Really? No.
I am. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Really? I am not,
Yes.
so you can school me on that. That's one thing history and English, forget it. I still don't even know where the fuck to put a comma or a period. Like, for heaven's sakes, thank goodness for like all this like, I don't know. Even when I text message, people are like, seriously, Demetra, it looks like you were drunk. I'm like, I can't even text correctly. But yeah, go ahead. Talk about history.
I think you're all good. Okay. So one thing that I think is very interesting is how, like, what people consider beautiful at different points in history.
Mm-hmm.
So, like back in medieval times, if food is very scarce and being rich means you have plenty of food, if you are heavier, that was considered prettier. So thus Renaissance paintings with very
voluptuous.
Yes, voluptuous.
Full-bodied, maybe.
Women.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Whereas now, if you look emaciated, it's probably a good thing in our culture.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I think it depends on who you're asking, because I know like booties and thighs are a really big deal right now, but you can't have a waist. You know?
It depends on exactly the perspective. It's like what men like versus what women like.
Yes. And we don't agree.
No.
We don't.
No.
It's weird.
But it used to be that if a person was a lady of the night, aka prostitute, they might have bugs and shit happening down there. And so they would have to shave it off. And that was considered bad to not have pubic hair.
Oh, because then that meant you probably had.
You're a dirty hoe.
Right. Oh, shit. Just keeping it real. Okay.
Dirty hoe. So people
Okay.
started
I like it.
to have little wigs for their
Wait.
crotches.
What?
A wig, like a toupee.
Come on.
A toupee for your kitty. Yes. And there's a word for it. It's called a merkin.
Merkin?
Yes.
Okay, can I look that up?
Yes, look it
What?
up now.
A merkin?
Yes.
Okay, because we might have to just get a visual. I might have to just
I just think it's interesting how much money we spend to get rid of it, where other people like really needed to like glue a toupee on there.
Merkin.
Merkin.
Shut up. You are kidding me right now.
It's
Okay,
a
look
wig.
okay, you guys, this is what came up. Okay, like I'm just gonna. Do you see that right here?
Yeah.
Does everybody see that? It's a merkin. Okay. Wait, okay, this is attached to like nude panties. So this person has panties on with a hair. Shut up.
Also, they're very necessary these days when people like say you like laser.
Oh, this is
your
a good
stuff.
one.
So if you're an actor or actress and you are doing a period piece and you need to have hair and you have permanently had it removed, then you would be gluing one of those things on there too.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
How do you know this? Oh, that's part of the history. They teach you that in class?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think I learned it from a coworker at some point or another.
wow. Some of these look like beards, though. Like, that's kind of gross.
Oh, you know what? Once I worked at a salon and we had a white elephant gift exchange at Christmas time. So I ordered one of these on Amazon. You can buy this shit on Amazon. Merkin, by the way. And whoever got it was very disappointed because it was like funny instead of like oh my
a real
gosh.
gift?
Yeah, well,
But
you know.
it might, I don't know. It could be a real gift. It depends who you ask.
Well, half the gifts were like
If
meant
you
to be
have
funny.
all white hair, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, somebody traded it, and a guy I used to work with got it, and he stuck it on his chin. It looked a lot like a goatee.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of these, wow, that is, this is funny. I like it. This is, I mean, I love this. I just learned something.
We might have to revisit this at the beginning of next episode.
I think so. I'm going to do a little research now. We're going to have some pictures. I might just have to do a little visual for you guys. A little Merkin. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, I get a little too comfortable here. All right. So.
Mystery.
Yes, mystery. Okay. Keep some of it down low. Literally down low. Okay.
On the down low.
So, Barbara, what else can you tell us about history and hair and wigs? Did you ever wear one? Not a merkin, like a wig. Have you ever worn a wig or?
On a couple occasions, I find him very itchy.
Yeah.
I think if I didn't have hair, they'd be kind of fun because but it's like trying to keep your own hair like underneath it is like, you know.
I mean, I don't know about you. I never used to be a sweater, but my head, especially back here where I have like a lot of hair, I get really sweaty and like I've had like wigs for like Halloween and things like that, and I don't like wearing them. But like you said, I think if I didn't have one, it would probably be. I think it would be a lot of fun to wear wigs in different styles. I mean, I did try a bang piece before. You saw my bang piece? I'm gonna wear it for one of the episodes and see if anybody. Well, no. Man, I just gave the surprise away. I was going to like show up with like my bangs and look at all cool for an episode. I'll still do it so you guys can see.
Oh, I just thought of a good story. So they now make, those little like claw things that people use to like clip their hair up. Mm-hmm. I do it. It's not really super cute, but does the job.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like a claw clip. They make those with like fake hair cascading off the back of them.
Oh.
Now. Or like buns or whatever.
So what? So it looks like you have your hair clipped like in a bun?
Yeah. So like if you have not that much hair, or your hair is like mine where it's really fine, it'll look like you have more hair because it's like kind of like a hair piece that's like glued onto the clip. So you just like, boop.
Oh, yeah. So it just looks like fuller, more hair. Okay.
Yes.
All right, I like it.
And I had a client once who, lovely, lovely woman, and she had really fine hair and not a whole lot of it. And she told me that I knew about this hairpiece because she'd show up with it, and you just put it on the table. And
Cute. I like it.
And
good for her.
She went out to dinner, and it was a busy restaurant, and they had to wait in the hallway. Like there was like a long bench, everyone's waiting in line, and it was like something to do with seafood. And there were like nets and like plastic lobsters and whatever.
Oh,
anyway,
no.
she was standing there for like half an hour, and then she went and ate dinner, and then on the way out she saw her hairpiece stuck in the net.
Oh my God.
And I said, "Did you get it?" And she's like, "No, I couldn't bring myself to. I didn't want to like
admit to that was hers."
Oh,
right.
So she's like, "Oh, look at that ugly shit," and then like walked out the door.
Oh man, and I thought this whole time she was owning it. I'm like, good for her.
I have no shame. I'd be like, "That is my bitch."
Right. Like, hello, this is like $50.
Exactly.
Especially if it's real hair. I mean, real hair is expensive.
It is. It is.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God.
All right. Well, that about sums up our nether region episode.
Love it. Yes.
Thanks for joining us. Please email us about future episodes that you want to hear about. We are justhearmeoutpodcast@gmail.com, and we're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Just Hear Me Out Podcast, as well as YouTube. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.